as back in action now, just inside 4 minutes of the third quarter. Jeff Wellman, Dave Pettit, MeccaSportsCo.com. Devils have the basketball off the left side at the three-point line. No good. Weak side rebound. Camden Brown off the glass. Nobody was there as everybody went away, and he gets the bucket. Camden's having quite the game.
Well, and he's got 3 offensive rebound putbacks, you know, which definitely helps it out.
Camden Brown with another rebound now. 3:24 left in the third. He's got 7 in this quarter. Cameron Weyer's also in. Long court down to the left corner. There's Brown, no good on the 3. Long court gets a strong side rebound. Goes up with a quick one on the strong side before the reverse layup.
He definitely looks a lot stronger this year, like he's put on maybe 10, 15 pounds.
He's got a bucket in each of the 3 quarters, 6 points total. Claver gets knocked down to the floor. Claver with a little shoulder issue as he's got that probably wrapped from football. Although he's a lefty shooting basketball. Is he a lefty throwing? We'll have to ask Coach Dusterhouse. He's one of those that could tell us there.
Now, last year at this time, Claver bodying up like that with, Bradley Longcourt probably wouldn't have turned out too well for Bradley. But this year, different story, big time.
That was Bradley's first foul, the first of the second half or the third quarter, however you'd like to call that one out. Boy, good crowds out there, a lot of good people. We see Dr. Meyer out here. Ron Vecchi with Pepsi came out tonight, along with his wife and their good friend, Angie Shalabiani, which is basically Mike Elby's sister. She's the oldest in the family. Baseline shot, no good. Good rebound by Longcourt, takes it away from Wadsworth. Down court, Clay. Clay on the baseline, misses. Right behind him, rebound. Thomas had the rebound, just couldn't get it up over the rim, and then got fouled on the second shot, and I believe it was shooting, which will give 2 shots for Keyshawn. He missed 2 free throws in the second quarter, which is unlike him. He'll have 2 more.
He's definitely been shooting a lot better this year for sure.
Foul was on number 11, Battaglia. And already the 4th, as I double check, against Sterling. Maybe even 5. Find my extra foul there. Thomas hits the first one. And hits the second one too. No, he only hit 1, or did he hit 2, Coach? Yeah, there he goes. Everybody's a little slow. We're on top of it. We just move a little faster than everybody else. And they come all the way down here, and Cameron says, hey, there's a wet spot down here on the other team's basket in the gray area, the 3-point area. And there's one of our young kids. Now, I remembered when Leper's son was about that big, and now I'm looking up to the man. That's so cool to watch kids growing and changing each year, working hard, going from a little kid to the future young man. Claver's in the backcourt, and Longcourt's going to pick him up 85 feet from the basket. Man-to-man, Longcourt's picking up Claver, now across the timeline to the right wing. Battaglia comes and gets it. Talton's in the game, guards him. And almost an anticipation whistle, but it was coming. Battaglia made a nice drive against Talton, and Thomas came and helped. They got him for 2 fouls now. And it's the first one, or second one of the quarter. They're 1 ahead of me, 3 there. So 3 fouls on the Blue Devils, 5 against Sterling for the last 2:34 of the third quarter. Battaglia, thank you very much. He made the first one, he's got 1 more, and it is good, 2 for 2. He's got 8 tonight, and 2 of them are from the outside. 27 now for Sterling. And that just stopped the Devils' little run of coming out of the quarter. 13 straight points. 46-27, right corner, 3, rattles around. Mark Louthan just came in the game. He got the rebound. Was right in front of the basket. Longcourt drives. Longcourt finger roll. And offensive goaltending. As
I think that was going to roll in, but Dom just couldn't not dunk it.
Oh, he was wide open coming from the right corner, and the ball was trying to come off the rim, and Dom said, no, no, no. Here's a steal by Talton. Talton takes it down the left, and Phillips reaches in for a silly foul, but did stop the ball. His third.
Once again, great defense. You know, that time it was Bradley Longcore getting his fingertips on the ball, getting down on the floor, then kicking it out. This team looks very, very good tonight.
Inside 2 minutes left, third quarter action. Around the horn, or around the world, however you like it. Here's Longcore, takes it around the other side to the left block, kicks a right wing. Talton for three, no good. Weak side rebound came Claver. Louthan there just slightly late. Claver, his strength as well, pulls the ball away. Chance starts working right side, Louthan's right there. So it's Cameron Wires, Mark Louthan, BL3, Dom Clay, and Isaiah Talton giving everybody else a break. Nice move through. Oh, you thought he was out of control, but Phillips made it through about 4 Devils and hits the bucket, his first of the night. In the post, BL3. That was an interesting pass. Talton drives in, finger rolls, gets the little kiss off the glass, and comes back in after it hit the rim the first time. 48-29, nice job by Talton. Talton really, the other night, showed his quickness, also his shooting ability too. He come out and hit a couple. Actually, I think he might have hit 3. He did hit 3, 1 in the second quarter and 2 in the third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, that's when Eckhoff hit a couple of his own. Sterling's basketball, Claver's gonna trigger it. Under a minute. Everybody fell asleep, and Battaglia laid it in, give Claver the assist. 48-31, great drive from the left side, Dom Clay. We've got a foul. Claver was there as well as Osborne and also Chance. And they will call it on the big guy, Osborne. His first of the second half, and we're in the double bonus all the way out. We'll always be in the double bonus. And Clay with that good move, he'll have a chance at two free throws. That was the third, so we were on track with Mr. Osborne's fouls for the night. 49.2 seconds left in that quarter. And there you go. Boy, doesn't Dom looks real relaxed, and it was just one of those where, like, look, I get a second shot no matter what, so just take a shot. I mean, I really thought he just got it and went with it. Second one rolls out, hits the floor, and it will go to Sterling with 45 seconds counting. Claver will bring it up. He's between the circles. Beat as it went in. A lot of times when you finger roll, now you understand why coaches say don't, because that ball made all kinds of moves. I always felt like if you're up that high, it's a lot easier than, you know, shooting off the glass, but you got to get up there, and when it rolls out, coach will let you know every time it happens. Down to 15 seconds left. Loncore's got the ball with Claver on him. Starts to make a move, backs it out. Down to 10. Still on the right side. Gets a screen from Talton. Cuts through the lane, on Claver, finger roll up, good, and they count it. Good job by BL3, got one step on Claver.
You know, have to restart the count, you know, and then he finally got it, got the screen come up, went around. All he needs is half a step, and he's golden.
He got the three-point play, and oh my goodness, Wadsworth got the ball under the basket. Coach Vasquez says, that's all right, get back over here. And he just didn't get it up over the iron. We know how that happens. Wow, 52-33 after 3, so a 19-point lead after leading at halftime. Whoops. 33-23, exactly. So.
Good third quarter by the Blue Devils. They've stretched this lead out and got it to the point where I don't want to say comfortable, but, you know, in the same token, they've started, you know, utilizing their bench, bringing them in, mixing them in with, you know, a couple of starters, and they haven't lost any effectiveness on the offensive end.
Yeah, defensively, coach, they go 13 points, 10 points, and 10 points. Pretty nice there. Of course, on that quarter, the Devils scored 19 points, so a 19-10. Got an extra 9 points after being up by 10 at halftime. So, you know what? That math works out towards 19. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah.
People need to do more math. Actually, there was a study I just heard the other day, Coach, that of the number of people that have never done a math problem long-handed. You know, understandable though. If it drives you nuts and you got a computer to do it, please do it. So, mechasportsco.com, as we mentioned, get over there to YouTube and check us out on our webpage. Sterling gets it this quarter. Nice pass, shuffle pass there from Claver. And he hit his big man downside, Maddox Osborne. He's going to get 2 shots. There's a nice little shuffle pass. Yeah, I forgot that. How well did Sterling do in football this year? Do you remember?
Who?
Sterling. Did they have? And guess what? That's the first one of the 4th quarter. So you're going to get some firsts. So we got rid of the jump balls years ago, every quarter. Now we get this, so there's first in every. Second one is good. You know, he had 5 in the first, 2 in the third for 7. That's his 8th points. 52-34. Left side BL3. Oh, he just faked out Phillips, but then he didn't get the shot up. Lathan got the rebound though. BL3 has it on the baseline. The left, 2 crossovers. Great move there, BL3. Backed up, 2 crossovers, reverse layup, and good for BL3. That was a very smooth, taking his time.
Well, yeah,
play.
very, very patient down there. Didn't try to go too fast.
Claver off the right side, no good. And Ralph Wires comes flying down. It's both the Wires boys right now, Loughton, Talton, and BL3. 54-34. And Claver will trigger the box out of bounds play. Inside, Osborne misses the shot. Lathan bumps him twice, and they let it go. I think he might have been losing the ball as well. And here's BL3 in through the traffic. Boy, he worked his way through there for an easy layup. Here's a steal by Cameron Wires. Wires, a little bit silly, but then Lathan goes up, gets the weak side rebound for the score. We're hitting the boards well tonight. We're doing everything well. 58-54. They start getting too many points on me too fast. Devils on defense, off the right side, Claver has it. Ralph Wire is going to work around. Talton comes in to help, partially blocked. I'm not sure if it was Talton or Wires, but Talton's taking the ball down. BL3 right side, good for 3. Good transition by the Devils. And they just built up another 9-point run from the 52-34, now leading 61-34 by 27. Now we understand with Lucas Austin being out, both on the offensive and defensive side, and again, the quality of our play, you really got to come in and be playing top-notch basketball, and you can't have anybody hurt.
Yeah,
and,
well, you know, and I tell you what, you know, this team will be dangerous. I don't know how long Austin's going to be out, but if you put Austin with the other big kid in there, you know, and their guard play with Claver, they're coming around second time could be a little bit different scenario.
That is so true, and it'll be at Homer Musgrove Gymnasium as well. Beautiful old gym.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful stone, the old glass. They basically renovated the gymnasium without taking away the history, and it's awesome. And they've got a great network up there. Actually, the network is to our right at the top of the bleachers from the Golden Warriors. And when we're up there, they've got the big screen on above hand and a chance to watch it. Stick around after the game. We'll hear from Coach Douglas on the performance. Love those sweaters out there. I still need to pick my player of the game from the other night. Don't let me forget that before we exit tonight. A little bit easier when we have some good play out here tonight. Claver working the ball left. Made him pick it up. That's Ralph Wires on defense. Ralph went right side. Battaglia was over there, driving through. It looked like Isaiah Talton was going to try to do a Jeremiah. Claver flew by the side of him, but the Devils, after a couple tips, get the rebound. Wires all the way in. Shot blocked from the side, partially from behind. Claver. Boy, Ralph has really gotten stronger, and on his play tonight, defensive-wise, has really banged well with Andrew Claver. Well,
yeah, like I say, Claver's 6'3", and he's very physical, and Ralph's held his own.
Ralph's in the left corner, works, kicks it over to the right side. Talton's going to fire a 3. Good! Isaiah Talton. He's got 7 now, including 2 3-pointers.
Good look by Longcore.
Shot no good. Cameron Wires rebounds it. Here come the Devils again. Sterling gets back, but Cameron pulls up. Misses the shot from the elbow. Claver gets the rebound. We've got hustle back. Claver gets shut down by a wall. Wires, and Talton, the law firm. And Maddox Osborne has a nice touch for a big guy, but that ball right there took somebody out in the section, right by Shuck Daddy, actually. Wires, Talton. Oh, a new sub in here. Jarius Rice. He's down the left block. In the high post is Louthan. Ball goes to right side. Back to the top of the key. Talton starts to make a drive. Switches hands from the left. Gets his self lined up and his shoulders lined up. He hits the bucket. Well, I tell you, we talked about Talton might be a pretty good player, but he's really had a nice summer as well.
Oh, yeah.
The big guy goes in, Louthan. And Louthan realizes when you weigh half of the guy that the guy for Sterling takes you in there, and that would be Osborne. Kind of hard because he just got banged around a couple times.
Wholesale substitutions for both teams.
So 10 there. That's 36, so 66-36. And that means over 30 points. We have a running clock. It's 4:14 and counting left in the ball game. So Rice stays in the ball game. You've also got Rico Clay coming in, number 15. Eckhoff gets the ball right now. Seth Rupert's in the game. Eckhoff drives to the basket, misses. Here comes Sterling the other way. Stopping, little short hook, no good. Hook was taken there by Workman, Rowan Workman. As we always mention, a Workman-like effort. On the right side, Rice gets the screen. Kicks it out to the left corner. Shot from Rupert, no good. Weak side rebound that comes off to Ty Douglas, who's also in the ball game. In the corner, Rice's ball goes in and out. And Sterling will get the rebound with 3.5 left in the game. Of course, up next, 2 games will be non-conference games. Chaminade at Mizzou tomorrow at 9 o'clock at night. And then on Monday or Tuesday night, Webster Groves comes in. I believe, is that the one that Webster Groves? Good cut to the basket. Basket was made there by Rodriguez. Adric Rodriguez on a cut. The shot taken from the left side, Douglas, no good. Rice checked that. Rebound comes out again to Workman. Workman's going to pop fire from the left side. Good. Workman brought the ball down a little bit. More of a shot you shoot when you're a little bit younger. But he hit, and it's 7 straight points with 2:45 left and counting. So the Devils run off 14 points, and then quickly the other way is another 7 for the Sterling team. But yeah, Webster Groves, I believe that was the one that Victor Johnson may have taken that a couple years ago of us knuckleheads sitting up here. From the right corner, driving in, taking this shot, rolls out, weak side. Clay, not Rico. I mean, that's Rico. Rico was, I don't know if he was lazy on that pass or if Rupert didn't stop, but the ball just zipped right onto the bench. And the clock continues to tick. So yeah, a couple non-conference games Saturday and Tuesday, and then they can refocus to the next conference game in the Western Big Six, which I believe is Rock Island, right? No, East Moline, excuse me. East Moline, we talked about that a little bit earlier.
At the Panther Den next Friday night.
Yep, after Thursday night, the girls will go up there and play, and East Moline's a pretty good girls team. Their big game will be Saturday night at home against Alleman. Get out here to Quincy High's gym. Check out that game on Saturday. And it's 7 o'clock at night, folks, so it's not an afternoon Saturday game. 7 bells at the Quincy High gym. Workman starts the drive, wants to kick it back out, and does. Rodriguez stops the ball in the right corner. There's 1.5 minutes left in this one. So we got a good show tonight. The Pom Pom Squad with their Christmas light show. And a good show on the court as well. Jump ball, good job by the Devils defense. Had 3 people there at the same time. Brecken Peterson brought it into traffic on the jump ball. Comes over to the Devils. Rupert and Rice will bring the ball down court. Eckhoff will be on the other end. Clay will be on the left side. And in the high post, we'll have Douglas. See some ball handling here. Eckhart likes that jump pass. He did the same thing the other night a couple times. Clay drives in. Oh, and Clay tries to throw it down and misses the dunk. That should be fun at home. On the other end, no good. Douglas with a rebound. Rice runs through the defense. Rice passes down and kicking it back out with 24 seconds. Yeah, I think there's going to be some joking around at the Clay household tonight. Checking out the sideline there, and in fact, his brother's laughing at him right now on the sideline. 10 seconds left in this one. Well, a good night for the Devils. Didn't hurt that Lucas Austin was out of the lineup, but all in all, the Devils really took care of business tonight.
Defensively, they got after it. You know, their length, their, deflections, many, and then steals. I mean, their defense, their good defense ended up being easy offense.
Indeed. And the Devils with a victory here now 6-0 in the conference, or 6-0 overall, 3-0 in the conference. So they'll stay atop. On the other side, Sterling 6-2, right? And
6-2, 1-2 in the conference.
1-2. So Sterling's got a lot of work now at this point to move their way back up the conference. Blue Devils are right on track, taking care of business. So a big victory here, and we get to take a step until next week away from the conference and see where we stand with a couple good teams. So Brad Loncourt and Dave Platt out there waving to us. So it should be a fun test tomorrow night after 2 victories in the conference during the week.
Oh yeah. I tell you what, that's going to be big time tomorrow night, and basically we'll be there, bringing you all the action.
Yeah, it should be a blast out there. And we'll do the stats out here, and good games from a lot of players out. BL3 got his first opportunity to really come out and score. He's played just sparingly the 2 games he's been in. He's gotten in there, and he's pretty well spared his time. Although the other night he did score 10 or 11 in that matchup here. We had those guys are up there. He was 11 along with Sprick, and then we had 10 with Brown and also Thomas. And those guys played very sparingly in the game. Started off in the first quarter with the Devils getting a 19-13 lead after 1 quarter. Turned around the second quarter. Devils will build it up to 10, 33, 23. Third quarter, stretched it out to 52-33. Coming out of the locker room, that's when they really picked it up. And then the final score, 66-41. Devils win by 25. Breaking down the scoring, Andrew Claver had 12 points. 2 of those came from the free throw line. He did have 2 3-pointers. Wadsworth came in for 2. Battaglia had a 3-pointer in the first and second, and he stuck 4 points in the third quarter there. So he ended up with 10 points on the night. Chance did not score. Rodriguez did get 2. Workman got a 3 out here from the left wing. 2 from Phillips and 10 from Osborne. And as we mentioned, Lucas Austin was not in the lineup at all. So that's the 41 on that side. For the Blue Devils, unofficially, they were led with scoring by Bradley Loncourt III. He had 16, 14 from Camden Brown. All that came in the first 3 quarters. Double digits for both Isaiah Talton off the bench with really sparing time. 10, Keyshawn Thomas with 10. All his were for the first 3 quarters. And then you had 5 points there from Don Clay, 2 from Ralph Wires, 2 from Cameron Wires, and 2 from Mark Louthan. In the game, but not scoring, Tyler Sprick. Oh, take that back. Tyler had the 2 free throws there. Thank you. Seth Rupert was in the game. Rico Clay as well. Ty Douglas, Jurius Rice, and Cale Eckhoff. And that rounds out the 66 for the Blue Devils. So pretty good, comfortable game tonight. I think the Devils took care of business so far this week. And then have some fun out there with Norm Stewart and the Classic tomorrow night.
I mean, their defense, especially the last 3 quarters when they gave up 10, 10, and 8 points. They gave up 28 points the last 3 quarters. Very, very good defense, very active. And they stuck to the man-to-man basically the whole game tonight. So A lot of good things out there tonight defensively for the Blue Devils.
Well, Coach, we saw that a lot that first weekend where they played more man than we were used to. I mean, this is a team that normally, the 1-2-2 three-quarter court, the 1-2-2 half court, and you get out there and get that business done. Tonight, you look at another one of those nights where we come out for man-to-man and don't even really run the 1-2-2 at all.
Yeah,
and that's nice that we can have different looks out there, especially on defense, and not get – because when you get stagnated in one, where do you go after that?
Yeah, they're very flexible. Their athleticism, everybody's gotten a little bit stronger, a little bit quicker this year, which, shows that, over the summer they worked hard, which good teams do that. It's going to be fun watching this team as they, get all their pieces together, get their rotations down. I mean, they're still working on that right now with Longcourt just coming back. So I think this is going to be a very dangerous team come, Christmas time and after.
Oh, most definitely. I think we're dangerous all the time, but at the same time, this is we start playing good basketball like this, as people seem to hang around in the gym then, so they hang around a little longer in the gymnasium when things are going good like this. It's one of those where you hang around and you want to, then the younger kids, most of the classmates, they're out here wanting to say hi to everybody.
We got some scores here. We have Alleman and Geneseo in overtime. Alleman's up 43-40 in the first overtime. Now, did Notre Dame, were they playing tonight against Southeastern?
They were in Hannibal tonight.
Okay. They got their boys against Southeastern here. That's not right.
Well, you know what? No, that might be. They may still be at Southeastern. Hannibal might be coming up tomorrow night. Well, Hannibal's tomorrow night.
39-18. The Raiders are beating Southeastern tonight right now. Looks like over at the pit. You've got at halftime, we have Rock Island over Moline 28-27 at half.
Oh, good game.
And then let's see what else we got down here. Oh, final we have, East Moline, United Township High School over Galesburg 69-61.
So East Moline quite isn't what we thought they were. They may be in a tier just below the top teams.
Well, they're
but you don't know.
7-1 now and 2-1 in the conference. So, that's going to be a tough game up there in the Panther Den. No doubts about it.
And who picked up? Do you remember who picked up the coaching from Coach Weber?
I have no idea.
I have not had that time to check for that. Of course, when we get to Monday, that'll be refocusing, since we're fortunate to be around town until Thursday comes around for anything. All the action seems to be here in town. So as we break it down and decide, hey, where will we be this upcoming week? Because there's a lot of action over across town. Of course, Monday, only the Lady Raiders are playing. Tuesday, we've got Webster Groves here. Should be a good non-conference, the second one. And then you also have Palmyra, doubleheader with the girls and boys on Tuesday night. Wednesday, I don't think we have anybody ever really slated there hardly. It's a church night normally out in the country. Thursday, we turn back around. East Moline is we're up at East Moline for the girls' game. And on Friday, back to East Moline for the boys' game. And then I know that Saturday is two girls' games, I think, possibly out at John Wood. And then followed by the Notre Dame Quincy High. Notre Dame's hosting Quincy High at the pit on that Saturday night. And that usually tells you then it's almost Christmas. But there's a game Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of that week. So, I mean, you're going to have some really good games. One of those is, of course, the Raiders up at Palmyra, or at Payson. And the one you mentioned tonight, Southeastern, the way kind of been forgotten, is because it was originally a late January game,
yep,
and they moved it up, and that's when they moved the Payson game, and you had to make some last-minute changes. So there's the Venturas out there, Pat and Dick. Dick has been here a long time. He's the one, if there's one guy you want to talk to about, teams, coaches, players over the years, cars, all kinds of stuff like that, it's Dick Winter. And, of course, Chad Dustraus has gotten to be a good friend with him, as they are both on the table at Quincy University. I think Chad's over Chad's probably on about 5 or 6 different grade schools too, as the person. Well, Coach, what you think? Let's talk about a player of the game tonight. Let me back up though for the other night, just because it was a key game over there. Everybody got in the game. We are missing a player from the original roster. We're not sure what's going on there, so we'll just move him off and not talk about him until if he makes a comeback. I'm not really sure what is up, and we've got other things to focus on and the positives. But that night, and most of the scoring was done by the third quarter. When we got to the fourth quarter, it was Rico Clay with 5 and Eckhoff with 6. Three out of 4 of them were 3-point shots. But looking at that lineup, I had Sprick and Longcore with 11 the other night, 10 for Thomas and 10 for Camden Brown. So all the good guys got their, all of them are good guys, but all the good guys got their points that night. Louthan came up with 8. Isaiah Talton with 9. Eckhoff, I said those 2 threes. And even Ralph Wires had a nice game of 8. I think we're going to stretch it all the way out and compliment all those players I just mentioned. But we're going to give the nod to Isaiah Talton. He had a good game that night, stepped it up. He had a nice game tonight coming off. And in fact, tonight was a real good game because he had, on the scoring-wise, 10. That's not the only reason you focused whether he had a good game or not. But he had 10. It was a nice job out there. So I am going to give Isaiah Talton and a little special mention, only because it's only a couple shots, but to Eckhoff, because he came in at the very end, the last man hit a couple threes. But I think Isaiah Talton, I'm not going to start stretching this thing out like we did the one night. When you won the tournament, that's fine. We'll give you the nod as a team. But when it comes down to this, we're going to go with Talton for our player of the game the other night on Tuesday on that 86-34 victory. Now, pulling up tonight, good games out here, Coach. We saw really early in the game, scoring was Thomas, but he also was rebounding well, playing good defense, and Camden Brown early in the game was loaded up. So those two really started us off, and then Longcore picked his game up as well. So I'm looking at guys of 16, 14, and a 10 with Longcore, Brown, and Thomas. What do you like best out of all of them? Or do you like somebody better?
Well, to be honest with you, I thought Longcore came in tonight, played great defense on Claver. How many points did Claver end up with? 12. Him and Wires did an excellent job, defensively against Claver. I thought Longcore had a lot of good passes, that led to easy baskets. The other one that I really liked was Camden Brown on the offensive glass. Especially in the second and third quarters, he did a very, very good job getting the ball, getting it back up on the glass, hit a couple of shots. He played very well too. I'm going to go with Longcore. In my opinion, I think Longcore with his defense, getting back into the groove, controlling the pace of the game and making good decisions. I'm going to go with Longcore tonight.
Sounds like a good one there, Coach. So Bradley Longcore the third. Hasn't been in the starting lineup yet, but tonight's game, unlike just getting some minutes and checking in, this was one I think he started putting some stuff together.
Yeah, he definitely made his mark on this game for sure.
Good dribbling through the defense. Passing was good. And again, we saw some great, but Tuesday we saw some good passing as well. But yeah, like you said, we're starting to get to the team where we're fine-tuning stuff a little bit more. And the biggest key is just to play as a team.
And they've been very, very unselfish. So, I don't think you have to worry about this group of kids, somebody getting selfish and, worrying about their points. I think this team wants to win. I think they had a bad taste in their mouth from the sectionals last year. I think they seem to be very focused, very determined team.
And tonight was a great night, too, because as we mentioned, you had the light show at halftime. Good crowd in here. Always when they come in, you'll get a lot of people that will come out to games, but then they'll fill along the top over here and watch. And it was loud. We were trying to do some other stuff, but it was awesome, as it always is. And I think everybody puts that on their calendar. And normally I know when it is. And tonight, showing up, and having them say, hey, tonight's the night. All right, that's awesome. I don't know if I got to see much of that, but as we do our work. But yes, a great night here. Tomorrow, again, the tournament. And, I did not get a really good look at the schedule the last 3 days down at the Norm Stewart. And so I'm not really sure what games come ahead. I think when we first got the look at that, we took a look, saw what time we finally played and who we played, and kind of went from there. There's a good lineup of 3 days of basketball down there. And then the girls are doing it as well, as they're going to the Sophie Cunningham Classic, and that'll be at the beginning of next year. And that's played at Columbia College. So that'll be won't be at the Mizzou Arena. And for those coach, I'm wondering how he's going to handle that. If he's going to, put something under his shoes or in his shoes, cover him up when he starts walking into the Mizzou Arena.
Let's see who we got here.
66-41, final score here. Devils now 6-0, 3-0 in the conference. And we talked about that. Last week we talked about normally the initial part of the season. Oh, thanks, Coach. So what do we got here tomorrow, Coach? Some of the games that are coming up.
Well, this is for Saturday at the Norm Stewart. The couple of games beforehand, Vashon against Oak Park and Father Tolton against Lyon County, Kentucky. So, and then it'll be Chaminade and Quincy. So that's going to be, that's 3 games there. And then East St. Louis plays at 3. Yeah, it's a load of Kankakee, Illinois is up there. Peoria Quest is up there.
Wow. And, of course, those little smaller schools, but Quest has had a good program for a number of years out there.
Hickman, Elias, School of the Osage.
Bringing them in.
Oh, it should be.
And I'm trying to think what year this is for this one. It's early in its. I mean, it's not the first year, but I'm trying to think how many years they've telling me. Well, it's been going on for 15 years. (66-41). I'll tell you what. We didn't really. 66. We could have got. Didn't you say something about the 60s?
I said 65-55, but as before I knew the big boy wasn't playing. You
would have thought maybe we would have scored a little bit more. Yeah, once we're in the subs and you're running score there,
well,
it ain't about how much you're going to score. When you beat somebody by 25 points, you've beaten them. And that's usually that's enough. So you get all your other guys in there. And I'm glad we do play. When we do play like that, don't try to run it up, but we do give the guys coming off the bench a chance to play.
They work their butts off in practice to make the people that are playing, on Friday night better. So, yeah, they definitely deserve their opportunity to get in there and show what they can do.
And Alan Iverson, our official scorer, with his family out there. We see them so many times on the road, too. He will follow the team. A lot of times if we're going down south, we catch them at, what's that place called? There's a Fast Eddie's or something like that.
Down Alton.
To eat, yes, it is. Hey, Coach, I haven't been there a lot of times.
Been there once or twice.
Indeed, and it is a nice little place to eat. I'd only been there a couple times prior to the last visit here, and so I was not a frequenter of there. And, of course, I'm not a Cardinal baseball fan. I'm sorry, folks out there. And so I don't get down to St. Louis much into Bush. Well, what am I talking about? I got there a lot last year as my daughter's boyfriend in a band called Unchained won Battle of Bush last summer with 20-some bands, as they're from Rochester, and just cut some stuff down at Nashville too. Yeah, folks, we're talking about something different, basketball, just trying to fill in a little bit of fun here as we're waiting for Coach Douglas to make his super tour in the post-game show. We're going to make it quick too because we got stuff going on. It'll be one question probably each for Coach Douglas on tonight, and speaking of the Sterling crew, here's you are right here, the crew that does their videoing for Sterling. They look like more like coaches than basketball players, or maybe not, but they are ready. So, well, Coach, what do you think? Are you ready for Christmas?
No.
Are you ready for the basketball after Christmas?
Well, yes.
And there'll be a lot, and that's the one nice thing about the year that probably was and we remember this with the pandemic. really set us off because that was a year. You know, we usually go to Bloomington, check it out. We go down to maybe Collinsville, but mainly Bloomington was the focus for the games I was going to, and of course you joined me as well until that last one. And that was the year my daughter was living in Bloomington. I was so excited. So here, let me ask my first question out here. All right, Coach, you took care of business tonight. I'll tell you the starting lineup. I guess let's back up first of all. Didn't realize that now we might understand why Rock Island blasted them. Lucas Austin was out at that time. I was not.
No. He played in that game.
Oh, did
he played in that game.
So he can't escape that one.
No.
But having him out of the line definitely doesn't make a difference. But I think the way we came out, Keyshawn inside strong, Camden hitting the boards hard. Yeah. Those two really led us early in the game.
Yeah, you know, we want to get an inside game established throughout, but really early on in the game, that's a goal of ours. And I thought, you know, we talked a little bit prior to, and Camden can play inside some too. So we talked about moving Keyshawn to the perimeter a little bit and letting him, you know, come off of split screens and post. And Camden did a phenomenal job of sealing his guy inside, and he's able to shoot over the top of guys. And, you know, when he has quick moves and not thinking about the move that he's going to make, it's really tough to guard.
I also saw that it definitely told tonight with Andrew Claver playing the strength of Ralph Wires and BL3.
Yeah.
Those two are much stronger, and I thought they did a nice job of double teaming him.
Well, it's great when you have two guys that are fighting over who's going to pick him up. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times you have guys that want to hide and you know, kind of duck away from that, and those two guys both wanted a piece of him. So that part is good. Now we just got to, you know, I think our energy is there. For the most part, we were focused, but there's still some little details defensively that we're not doing well enough that, you know, come tomorrow, if we continue on that trend, it might be the flip of this, you know, 30 points going the other way. So our focus and energy has got to be a lot better consistently throughout the game, and I didn't think it was tonight. And I honestly thought tonight was the first time where we really allowed missed shots to affect how we played on the defensive end. You know, we didn't shoot the ball well at all tonight. We had some really good looks at it, but, you know, and I know it's tough, you know, as a shooter, former shooter, I guess. But, you know, when you miss shots, it's tough to go on the other end and do what you're supposed to do. But that's where maturity comes in, toughness comes in, and we got to do a better job in that area.
I always talked about the most important play is the next one.
Right.
That way you're not thinking about the last one because you know what happens when that does. All right, a couple more points out there. Dom Clay, I saw some pickup on him recently, looking a little better. And then Talton I knew was going to get better, but he really in the last couple of games has excelled.
No, he's playing with a ton of confidence. Guys trust him. I mean, you saw Brad make a couple phenomenal plays where he draws 2, even 3 guys and finds him on the perimeter. You know, he was a big time spark for us, and that's what we need from him. And there's no step down defensively when he comes in the game. I mean, he's another guy that, you know, we could have said, hey, go guard Claver, and he would have done it in a heartbeat. And, you know, he played a heck of a game tonight on both sides of the basketball.
All right, we got the game, get a good night's sleep. Now, tomorrow we've got our game at 9 o'clock at night.
Yep.
The question is, do you go down and watch a couple games before, or you try to stay focused on the business and try to do both?
I'd like to. I mean, we're going to get there in enough time tomorrow to watch Father Tolton play. With Coach Osborne there being a former Blue Devil, we're going to go watch him. They play right before us. But that'll be the earliest we get there. You know, we'll have a walkthrough tomorrow at 3 o'clock and be ready to, you know, dive into what we're going to do against one of the toughest team that we've seen all season. And Chaminade, with the size that they have, the guard play that they have, it's going to be a really good test for our guys. And this is why we wanted to get into the shootout, is to have an early season test like this. And again, we got to bring it defensively tomorrow if we think that we're going to be able to play with these guys.
Awesome. Congratulations tonight. Look forward to tomorrow. Have a safe trip.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it.
And that's, of course, Coach Douglas. His comments are brought to you by Cunas Honda and Cunas Hyundai. Faith Family Giving Back. Appreciate that. And, Coach, good job there. We've called our player of the game already. So your final thoughts on how it looked tonight?
Well, like I say, when you have second, third, fourth quarter, you play 24 minutes and you give up 28 points, you know, in those 3 quarters. You know, I thought the defense was really, really good tonight. I can't remember Sterling getting an offensive rebound. I thought the Blue Devils hung their hat on their defense tonight and did a heck of a job against a undermanned Sterling Golden Warrior team.
And that's the key. We got to get our best game. Our best games obviously aren't the beginning of the season. You want to be working towards the end of the season, getting excited. And I think that picture again up at ISU like a couple years ago. And I think the Devils have their focus on this one. And even though they might, stray a little bit, young kids, but I think they've really built a focus.
I still think that they still have that bad taste in their mouth from last year in the sectionals, I believe, first round, where they got just basically beat down, and I think they still remember that. I think they remembered that this summer when they worked out, obviously. I think this team is focused, and I think they're disciplined enough to take this thing a long way this year.
You heard us, folks. Get out here, either home game or follow us on the road. If you do not, join us right here at mechasportsco.com. And tomorrow night it'll be a late one, but, take a nap during the day and come join us after that.
Well, what I think you should do is go over and watch, the Quincy High girls in Alleman at 7, then come home, sit back, get your phone out, get your computer out, get on YouTube on the TV. We won't be videoing it, but I'm sure they might have some streaming out there, so you might be able to listen to us and watch the game. So, enjoy Quincy High School basketball.
And we'll be the only ones down there. A couple of them have decided not to go, so, hey, we don't mind that. We'll enjoy Coach Stewart and have fun. Coach, it's been a really good night here and a good night for the Blue Devils. Get a good night's sleep yourself.
Yes.
There it is. That was Coach Pettit. I'm Jeff Wellman. And the final here at Blue Devil Gymnasium tonight, the Quincy High Blue Devils 66, the Sterling Golden Warriors 41. We appreciate y'all coming out. mechasportsco.com. Good night, everyone.